Well, everyone. Welcome back to Obsessive Compulsive Gaming. My name is Joey. I'm obsessed with video games, and today we're going to review The Casting of Frank Stone. Now, apologies on this. It took me a couple of days to get to this game due to, what shall we call it so it doesn't sound so sad and tragic? A money situation, let's call it that. A money situation in which I have none. But anyway, finally managed to get the game last night, sat down, completed it in 2 sittings. I probably would have finished it in 1, but I didn't start the game till very late last night, and I was rather tired. So what the hell is this game? Well, it's a kind of spin-off narrative horror game set in the world of Dead by Daylight. Now, a little disclosure just before I get into the meat and bones of this review. I have played Dead by Daylight. I do not enjoy it. I know a tiny little bit about the lore, not a lot. And I will say that your experience with this game is going to be determined by, I believe, how much you know about the lore of Dead by Daylight, because even I, who have played the game, know a little bit about it. Even I was lost at certain points, and I know for a fact that I was lost because it's something that is part of the established lore of Dead by Daylight. So just know that going into this. So what is the story for this? Well, basically the game takes place in 2 distinct time periods. One period in the 1980s with a group of teenagers attempting to make a movie, and another time period, which is modern day 2024, in which a group of strangers are invited to a house for reasons. And that's as much of the story as I'm going to go into without spoiling it, but it starts off very strong, kind of starts to lose it in the middle a little bit when a lot of the Dead by Daylight lore comes into it. And then by the end, I was completely lost. And I know for a fact I didn't get what would be considered the best outcome for the game. And in these types of games, it's usually X amount of people survived or X amount of people died or whatever. Because obviously if a character dies, you're then going to miss out on seeing a lot of additional sequences in the game. Just the same as if you manage to keep characters alive, you're going to see a lot more than someone who maybe gets all the characters killed at the first opportunity. So like I said, this is a narrative-driven, third-person horror game. There's no combat, so to speak, though if you've played something like, I don't know, Fatal Frame, you might get what I mean when I say there's not combat, so to speak, but... And that's all I'll say about that, in case you've not played Fatal Frame or don't have a bloody clue what I'm talking about. Let's just say it involves a camera. There you go, that's it. But that's all I'm going to say about it. But apart from that, the visuals are great. Music, great. Thankfully, unlike a lot of Supermassive's games, which are loaded with jump scares, this one isn't. I don't know why. I don't know if it's just I'm so used to playing these types of games now that nothing really got me. I think I jumped twice. Once at the beginning and then once very close to the end. Obviously, your experience may differ. So yeah, I had a great time with this. I'm looking forward to diving back into it to see what the other outcomes are, what the different scenes are, what the different choices are. If you can in fact get a better ending, because the ending I ended up with was something that I didn't fully understand, but was incredibly bleak. And yeah, second playthrough, I would like a positive ending, or as positive as you can get in a horror game. But yeah, I enjoyed this. Do I think it's Supermassive's best game? No, I still much prefer Until Dawn and the Dark Pictures Anthology. I much prefer those games. But this is still a really good third-person horror narrative-driven game. So if I had to score the game, which I'm trying to do now on every game, on every review, is to give it a score, I would give this game a solid 7.5 out of 10. Maybe an 8, depending on how it is when I replay it and do multiple playthroughs of the game. But as it stands just now, great game. If you like horror games, get it downloaded. Yeah, and have a good time with it. So there you have it, my totally not rambling review for the casting of Frank Stone. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. If you haven't enjoyed it, well, you can give me a thumbs down if you want. If you want to be that guy or that girl or that person. And stay obsessed with gaming.
Are you still here? Oh, you must have really enjoyed this video then. In that case, you had better subscribe to the channel and check out our other content. Otherwise, you're a booby pants, and no one wants to be a booby pants.